Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'll speak to you about when a parent becomes a liability. Okay, parent means mother and father. When do they actually become a liability, and when is it time for you to break off with them or stay away from them? Now, I will limit this conversation or this video to when you become an adult, not when you're young. Because when you're young, we can focus on, oh, he didn't spend time with me, he beat me, he was strict with me, there are so many other things. I'm talking of as an adult, okay? As an adult means you're earning, okay? If you're not earning, not having a monthly income, then you're not an adult, you're still a baby, because you're living under money of daddy and the love and support of mummy. So that's not an adult. You stand on your own 2 feet, do your own stuff, then you're an adult. Okay, so I'm talking about as an adult, when should you break up or stay away from your mom and dad, or when do they become a liability? And I'll give you 3 examples to make sense of this. The first one was when I had this client, this female, was very religious, religious. I wouldn't say spiritual. She had to go to church every day, or she would go to church every day. 24/7 she would talk about Jesus and Bible and all that. And the reason why she booked a session with me is because she wasn't married and she was in her 40s. So she wanted advice how to go about. So I told her, you're 40 and have you had any boyfriends? She told me yes. I said, are you in a relationship right now? No. Have you had sex? And to that she told me no. I was like, you never had sex? Okay. Then the relationship with the man, have you spent time with them, been with them, stay with them? No, my mom and dad do not allow this. I said, what do you mean your mom and dad don't allow this? She told me that I stay with my mom and dad. Okay. You work? Yes. Your mom and dad work? No. They are retired. Okay. You're taking care of them? Yes. Then I don't understand. So why can't you have a boyfriend or spend time with a boyfriend? No, my mommy and daddy don't allow. So I was like, wait, let me understand this. So you have to take permission from them to meet a boy? Yes. Your mom and dad have to approve of your relationship before you have? Yes. And let's assume there is a boy. You like him and your parents like him. So then what is next? Yeah, my mom and dad say you can talk, but that's about it. You can only talk. But then what about the physical? No, physical is only after marriage. Okay. So what has been the problem? Why your mom and dad can't find a boy and agree? No, my mom and dad, they have to approve of the boy's family. They have to approve of the boy. They have to approve of his job, his career, is this. And then they have their conditions that after we marry, parents have to stay together with me and my husband, and they have a laundry list. And because of this, they couldn't find any guy. And on top of that, you have to be religious. On top of that, means the parents want the perfect boy as per their requirements. So this was one example. And I told her, my dear, you continue like this, you're never going to find anyone. And true to what I said, even after multiple conversations, she's still single. I don't think she's ever going to get married. And the worst part is she doesn't have any, I don't know, self-belief, self-esteem to stand up and say no to the bear. In fact, even her social media is being checked by her parents. Can you believe that? She is 40 plus. Parents are 60 or 65 plus. They have to check everything. They have to check who she's talking to. So I know you'll say this is paranoia, but it exists. This is one. The second one was an Indian guy. He wanted to marry, but his mother and father, they wanted their involvement in the sense that it should be a family who the parents approve. It should be the astrological sign should be matching, and it should be based on the same caste, same religion. So here the parents were like, you choose the girl you like, but she has to qualify based on our requirements. So whichever girl he would get, and I know these are mostly Indian families, whichever girl he would get, the parents were like, oh, the horoscope, it's called Kundli or something, is not matching. Oh, I don't like the family. And, one more thing, they wanted dowry. So this was, now, you might say, oh, these are only Indian families, these are only marriage. Let me give you the next step. This was the case of a guy who already married. He was living with his wife. Okay? He's living with his wife, and the marriage was approved of and all that. But after the marriage, the mother and the boy's mother, guy's mother, and the wife, they were not getting along. They would always have fights. The lady wanted the husband to give her priority, listen to what she wants, while the mother believed, this is my son, he has to give me priority. So this guy was torn between two sides. Okay. And one final example I'll give you. This guy, he is Muslim, but his mother, who's a widow, she is also Muslim, but she is very, very religious. Now the son is not religious. He doesn't want to pray. Muslims 5 times a day. He doesn't like fasting. He doesn't believe in Islam. He wants to live his own life. But the mother is very insistent on this. And because she's a widow and she lives alone, they stay together. He stays with the mother. The mother drives him nuts about, one is religion, then is about being in touch with the relatives, the family members, inviting people over, the brother, the sister, which he doesn't like. And she doesn't interfere, but she always has this nagging, motherly, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do that, where did you go, why did you do, oh, and, I'm so worried about you, and, okay. So I give you these examples. I'm pretty sure there are many more, because I've dealt with quite a number. Like, there are cases where parents want the child to take up, or the youngster to take up engineering, or being a doctor. Indian parents normally have that, or take this line of career, but they don't have their heart set on engineering. But the flip side is also there, where the parents are ready to pay for college for a stable career, but the son or daughter wants to be a social media influencer, or film actress, or movie star, or in some cases even wrestler or MMA fighter. So there we can't use this example. The parents are right. The chances of your success are 0.0. Put how many zeros you want, 1%. Okay, so, but on the other hand, let's say the youngster wants to do fashion or sales or marketing, and the parents want the child to do, no, you must do engineering, and there's no interest. Okay. So now that I've laid out the issues and problems, the different kinds, what is the solution? See, the reason why I said I'm going to limit this video where once you're only working is because the solutions I give you is based on you having to take the step of being independent. You have to, one, leave the house. And that is, here's the part which many people can't. You have to stay alone. I realized the benefit of staying alone only when I left home during my so-called attempted college stint or whatever, where I was staying alone in a dormitory. But instead of going to college, I was busy doing my own stuff. So the freedom of staying alone was like, wow, I can sleep whenever I like, get up whenever I like, do whatever I like. Then obviously when you come back home, you get suffocated with the mother's and father's rules. But I realized I need to stay away, and thankfully when I got my first job, which was a very small salary, I would say maybe $600-700 US a month, my first job as a shopkeeper, home theater systems I was selling. So I was staying in a small room which was near the shop where I was working. The owner used to work for Emirates Airlines. He used to bring home theater systems, TVs, videos, flat screens. So he was a little modern. So I could stay there, and I had to go to my room and come back. But it was so nice because I didn't have to, follow the rules of mom and dad. The freedom was there. But along with this freedom came responsibility as well. If I didn't sleep on time, I couldn't get up on time, and then my boss would give out to me. I had to manage my own cash. I had to pay my expenses. I had to ensure savings. Otherwise, I would be short of cash. I was those days a playboy, busy with girls and all that. And yes, you would get into trouble if the girl's parents caught you, and obviously they're not going to ask your mother and father, so they would call for my boss. I was caught dead with one girl in in her apartment when the parents went out for a walk. Anyway, that's another story. So if you want, I'll make a video on that. So the point is, when I started staying alone, I started to discover my own likes, dislikes, my personality, my temptations. I mean, you have all the freedom in the world. You can watch, for example, you can watch porn sitting alone. Nobody is going to question you, and you're free. You can be with a girl whole day. Nobody is going to say anything. You can go outside, come home late. Nobody will say anything. You have nobody to question you. The beauty of that kind of freedom is, yes, you'll experience all the temptations, luxuries of what the world has to offer. And, you'll be able to satisfy that hunger and curiosity. And after some time, you'll reach a point where you'll be like, if I keep going out late night to nightclubs and hanging out with friends, I have to listen to my boss, and my boss gives me shit. And then, you obviously will be punished. So the slow process of self-discipline comes in. And then obviously if you're drinking too much or and you fall down, and in the sense that you can't control yourself, you'll get into fights, or you'll be put in jail, or you'll be reprimanded, or you'll just fall down somewhere and people laugh at you, mock you. Nowadays they even take videos of you, embarrass you. So you'll have to live with that shame. And if you smoke too much, it'll affect your health. So overall, what happens is this entire process helps you rediscover who you are. See, when you're with your parents, maybe your parents are very religious or spiritual. They'll pray to God. Maybe you don't like praying to God. Okay? In majority of the cases, youngsters, they don't pray, they don't want to go to church, temple, mosque. But then that is where life helps you discover, do you really want to go to church? Do you really want to go to mosque or temple? Do you really want to pray to a God? And sometimes when you're faced with challenges in life, or let's say terminations, or you lost all your money, or automatically in some cases people start praying to God. They start saying, I'm sorry, I went the wrong way, I've realized, please be there for me. And if by some coincidence their problem gets sorted out, then they automatically start becoming religious. They start praying to God more. They start doing charity or being good. See, the overall process is for you to find out what kind of a man, what kind of a woman are you if you had unlimited freedom. And we can see this, I mean, when people go for a holiday where parents are not there, where society doesn't know who they are. Like they go for this holiday where nobody knows. Like they go to Thailand, Vietnam, or they'll go to some country, Europe, or even cabin crew, mostly youngsters, when they go stay alone in a hotel. Now you have guys and girls, all horny, ready to experiment, play around. Parents are not there, society is not there, nobody knows what you're doing. And there they live their own life. I have literally seen girls and guys, especially girls, who behave like Virgin Mary and who are spotless, sinless, and show that they are true characters of goodness, of purity, of chastity. I've seen them when they are alone. Oh, they are ready to go kinky to the level which you'll never imagine. Most of the girlfriends I had in my 20s, they were all so-called decent girls. And the kinky stuff that they want, because they were curious. Obviously, they got exposed to porn and all that, and they want to try, I want to try this, I want you to do this. And I'll be like, huh, really? So, nowadays, maybe it's different, but maybe guys are more, girls are less, I don't know. I'm out of that, that market. But girls are equally horny, especially when they're young, equally sex-driven, equally curious. The only difference is boys are super fast, super quick, and any relationship they get, the first thing they think about is sex. Girls look at friendship, connection, trust, and then they will open up slowly. It takes time for them. So this particular one girl, who the parents were church going, very holy, very religious, she joined as cabin crew, and it was only after many years. I used to always think she was holy and religious. When she bumped into me, by the time she was married and divorced, and she told me when she was in cabin crew, oh, they were having, actually, she were having twosomes, threesomes, exchanging partners, getting drunk. They even did, I think, weed and all that. Those days it was illegal. So I was shocked, because I thought she was a very holy-poly girl. And imagine, she told me, I had sex with 3 guys on me and an Indian girl. Huh? And oh, it was all crazy. And I said, do you miss those days? She said, no, I don't miss the days, but I was very curious. And now her parents anyway are no more. But she told me, I was being religious just for namesake, just to keep my parents happy. It was not what I wanted. And when I started experiencing freedom, I realized I don't have to be what my parents want me to be. I can be free. And that's what she was. So now obviously the argument can be, so isn't it better to have parents so that you're disciplined? I mean, once you start working, once you're an adult, say you cross 21 and you're working, 18 is also too early. Once you cross 21, what do you want mommy, daddy to tell you? Be a good boy, be a good girl, don't masturbate, don't watch porn, don't eat too much, don't drink, don't smoke. Come on, man. When the fuck are you going to grow up? So With most of my clients, I tell them, especially youngsters, once a person crosses a certain age after 18, and if they are working and earning their own, and they are not ready to listen to you, it's time you throw them out of the house. So they get to see life, in their own eyes. Means, I'm talking of extreme case, not if there's a disagreement. Okay? Let them be on their own. Let them experiment. I know people who say, what if my daughter gets pregnant? Then it was meant to be, man. What you want to do is have a chastity lock on her vagina and supervise it. Hey, nobody come near her vagina. Come on, man. Even my daughter, same thing. I know many people say, what about your daughter? Like, it's time to grow up, time to grow up. You go out. People ask, what if she becomes OnlyFans thing? What if she becomes a girl who seeks out sugar daddy and becomes a bar girl, prostitute, this and that? I told, we will do our part of giving a good upbringing with proper communication, building the relationship for 18 years. After that, if 18 years you're not able to do your job successfully, then it's never going to work, right? So my main message to you here is, if you are above 21 and you're working, okay, you need to stay out on your own. You need to be on your own. I'm not saying dump your parents. In some cases, your mother and father staying with the person who is earning, okay? But make it clear to your parents, you're earning, you're the boss. Simple as that. You're earning, you're the boss, you call the shots. You're no longer the small baby. They can't tell you who to pray, when to sleep, when to wake up. They can't tell you that. Obviously, I'm not asking you, okay, start getting hookers and girls to your house and have sex in front of them, or no, that respect you keep. You do your extracurricular outside where your parents don't get hurt. But at the same time, stop trying to live the life they want you to live or be the person they want you to be. Even a marriage partner, even a job career path. It's time you take charge, man. So there should be a line drawn where you tell the parent, sorry, doesn't work. And remember, sometimes parents can even try emotional trauma. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, my health is this thing. Oh, I looked after you 9 months in my stomach and this is what you're doing in return. I'm going to die now. I tell the client, if your mother and father is going to tell you, I'm going to die and all that, say, then you need to be hospitalized. So go back to the home country, India, wherever. And over there, after you go back to India, I'll put you in a hospital. You'll have a proper checkup just to make sure that your health is okay. You should not be staying with me. You should be in the hospital. Because they're telling you they're dying, no? They're telling you their health is going to get destroyed, no? So what's the solution? I'll tell you 99% when the guy or girl tells the parent that, since you're dying, I'll admit you in the hospital and you be there until you're well. Automatically they get well. They realize my emotional bullshit doesn't work. That's why when my clients speak to me, I tell them, you think my mother or father or any relative will tell me, I'm going to die and all that? I'll say, okay, die. They know their bullshit doesn't work with me, man. So when they know the bullshit doesn't work, they stop giving bullshit. Remember, they have known you from childhood. They know what buttons to press. And they'll busy try to take you for a ride. So be smart about it. So overall, what I want to leave you with is, as an adult, you have to make certain choices. You have to make certain decisions. And this can only happen if you are independent. Okay? You need to think independent, act independent, be independent. I'm not saying ditch your parents. If they have to stay with you, they have nowhere else, fine. But be your own man or woman. Because after a certain point, you don't have to take their shit, and you definitely don't have to take their abuse and physical whatever. If they abuse and all that, Put them in their place. Automatically, when their pride and ego gets destroyed, when they become humble, then you bring them back. And in some cases, if your parents are still toxic and they are not letting you progress in life, it's time you keep them far off, take care of them, live your own life. My parents, I told you, the most toxic individuals ever. I never keep in touch with them. I'm not bothered whether they're sick, hospitalized, going to die, suffering. You abused me all these years. Pay the price now. My stepbrother, half brother, he looks after them because he was always close to them. He's a good man. I'm not. So, but at the same time, he kind of realizes they also play the manipulative card. There's something which is part and parcel of hyper-emotional parents, especially the ones who are not fit to be parents. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you agree, disagree, what do you think with what I have to say? Alright? You guys take care. This is me signing off.